Hey y'all, what's up? Y'all already know who it is, guys. Thank you so much for coming back. It's your girl Nessa Hernandez on a motherfucking real ratchet and reckless. So as you can see, I got my girl, my one and only J motherfucking D. Period. What's up, boo?
What's up?
So we got the one and only my father, Eric. What's up, Dad?
Better known as Cisco the Kid. What's up? What's up?
Okay.
Okay.
So you fine with saying that? That's cool. Look at my mom blushing over here. We got a member in the audience. What it do? All right, guys. So, Dad, real quick, I'm gonna let everybody know why we're here today. And today we're here because this is a special podcast. If you do follow me on Instagram at Nessanandis _ under here, you know that I dropped a fun fact. I come from a low ratchet lifestyle, and I totally forgot that my dad, for a hot minute, had a little music career going on with his cousin. And you know what? I like that because in a way, me and you have something going on, and we're primas, and we have this little mission here.
You right.
Just like my dad did. My dad did music with his cousin when I was in elementary, and at the time, I think everybody was like, "What's wrong with them? Like, what's wrong with them?" Right? And the other day, I actually ran into the CD, which is right here, the cover, which we're gonna get into, guys.
Yeah.
Let's post because we might need a thumbnail.
Hey, swipe up to listen.
Okay, and I just started thinking. I listened to the song. I asked you, Dad, to send me the MP3, the MP3 version, and I heard my dad, and it's like when you're little, you're just like, oh my God, that's my dad. Like embarrassing, right? I felt embarrassed at the time. I'm like, everybody's dad is working or I don't know what the hell these dads are doing. And my dad is in the studio, and I'm like, what the hell wrong with him? So, but now looking back, and I know a lot of us can look back and see this differently. I'm holding like the outcome of it, like the project. And I feel like it meant a lot to me, but we're going to get into that in a bit. But I just want to let the listeners know that this episode is going to be about my dad's mini music career, rap career. And JD also featured in here. So we're just going to just jump right in so we can get into this. And we're going to, this in 2005.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me, please. Actually, how are you right now? How do you feel right now?
I'm good. I'm going to let you know what's wrong.
All right. Oh, you ready?
Okay. We want to know how it started.
Tell me, how did it start? Like, I don't even know. Like, you were always cool with your cousin. Shout out to Saya. And how did this all come about? Do you remember?
Well, it started in a garage.
We used to the idea of it. Like, who you already knew he was trying to do music?
Well, he mentioned something to me, and I'm like, let's do it, man. And him and a homie named George. He got the money together.
Who got the money together? George did, huh?
George got the money together, and me and Sire, we end up putting the hooks and the lyrics, and I used to do the beats. But then I'm like, let me get a little verse on there. So I got a verse in there, and that's how it started.
So the original plan was for him to just rap on there on his own. And you guys, Gio was going to contribute with like managing, I can say management, right? And you were the kind of like a producer / person that does beats. Who would edit all of this? Like, who would edit the audio that was put into this?
Me.
Wow.
No, don't be lying.
Me.
And you made these beats?
I make some of the beats.
Y'all had computers back then?
I know. What year?
We used to use Pro Tools.
Oh,
wow. You know how to use Pro Tools? I didn't even know that.
You surprise me every day,
Yeah, and we started using Acid, but we wanted to fuck with Pro Tools. Yeah, we wanted to fuck with Pro Tools because everybody was using Pro Tools, even the Dr. Dre and all of them. So
yeah.
Like, let's use it.
And I quote, Sire in one of the songs was like, and I know Doc DRE gonna hear this in one of the songs, which we're gonna play for you guys because I have it here in MP3 file, which I think is crazy. We went to like a gathering like a few months ago that it was one of my friend's birthday, and we went to Vegas, and you had sent it, and just we were talking about like, because they were like, we're talking about the podcast, and they're like, dude, like you and JD are so funny, like because we're cousins, that, and you know that Jessica's on my podcast, right?
Yeah.
And they were so hyped. They're like, yeah, like you guys, da-da-da-da. And we were like, wait, we've been in the studio. Like, we've been in the studio.
We really have.
And then we thought about it. We're like, dude, that's right. Do you remember that? Like, when did you guys really start taking it serious? Like, where this had to come out, like the CD, like it looks like y'all had a whole photo shoot too. Like, when did who took these pictures? Who put this together? When did you guys decide you were actually going to take it to a studio?
Well, right there, I who was it? Infidelity Records.
Yeah, he wrote, and I quote Sire. He's such a character. He wrote, let me tell you the thanks that he gave. Very interesting man here. I like it though. I fuck with it. He said, special thanks to Jesus. As a token of my appreciation, Sire says, whoever is speaking for him, you should not have to stroll. You can ride with me. To George Orcha, I don't know what to say other than thank you. Believe me, Jill, thank you. He must have put a lot of money for him to say two thank yous. Cisco, baby boy, gracias, primo. To George Hernandez, yeah, boy, thank you. And to David at Fidelity Records, thanks for nothing. I mean, for some things. So we're gonna get into that. To my whole family, thanks for nothing. He says, right? Wait, it gets funnier. Thanks for nothing and helping me pursue my dreams. And oh yeah, to both of my baby moms, thank you bitches for not believing in me. And last but not least, Lil One, get your shit together. Maybe someday we can make some music together. Thank y'all, Sire. Clear Effects Records. What does that make you feel? Do you remember him writing this?
Yeah, we actually went and make it official on Pure Effect Records. We went and talked right there in downtown. So that's our name. Nobody could take that away from us. So that's still gonna be ours.
Wait, so you trademarked it?
Yeah.
Well, how much was it?
It wasn't that much. It was like what, $50, I think.
Maybe back
in the day.
Well, maybe it's different because I'm trying to trademark this, and I heard it was like $400.
You know what, Sire gives me like that's me. You get what I mean? Like that's a whole mess.
No, I was gonna say,
and like you remind me of your dad. Like if we were to be in the
like
record,
very creative.
I'm gonna do a whole baby daddy you ain't shit. Like
yeah, because Jessica wants to do music. Did she tell you? Well, yeah. Like, kind of not like a joke, but like something fun for her birthday. She wants to like write a whole thing and like produce it and do a video. And I don't know.
I want to do a song like just putting my 20s to rest. You get what I mean? Like a funeral. And
but yeah, okay, so now that I'm thinking, okay, so it's exactly what I was thinking, like him talking about producing beats, Pro Tools, trademarking the name. So how did even Clear Effects, because you had a chain. Where's the chain?
I have no idea. Anthony had part of the chain.
Oh.
Why it was broken?
No, he had just the necklace. But the sign Clear Effect, I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, because I'm going to try to take a picture of this. These pictures are interesting. I'm going to try to, and you really, no, you can't really see, but.
You're going to have to take a picture, add it in.
Yes. Like, so tell me about the studio too. Like, whose garage is that?
That's actually George's mom's house. We used to go on the back. We used to buy like a 24 Coronas and shit. And we ended up drinking, getting all fucked up, and we only did
just get on the mic.
We did lyrics, but just fucking around. But then after the time went by, we just like let's just do something, and that's how it started. We started off of fucking around, just drinking and doing beats, and then we just made a CD.
I love it.
You know what? I like that because that's kind of what we do, right? We just drink and get on the mic.
Literally.
No, but Dad, I really respect it. And I think that's why I wanted to do this interview, especially because it's like, you know, we're family. Jessica's family. She has helped me. I always tell her, like, you know, this is going to be, I'm taking this shit serious. So it's like, I was thinking like at a time like this, like people were like, what the fuck, Eric? Like everybody was kind of like, it was kind of like laughing at it because especially back then, who was really chasing like, oh, I want to be a rapper type shit. But like, I feel like now we're in an age where it could be much respected, like keep going. And I feel like if y'all would have kept going, like maybe y'all would have blew up. I was looking at it, I'm like, this is a whole project. Like people don't understand. Now that I know music or now that I know what it is to produce my own audio and podcast and camera and photo shoots, like that shit is a lot of work. And like even you guys going to downtown and stuff, I'm just like, who the fuck? Like, you know, that's a lot of commitment. So I was looking back and I'm like, I can't believe, like, before it was just like my dad has a CD, what the fuck, and making my mom sell it at her job. Shout out to my mom.
Shout out to a real one, the audience member. Everybody, can we get a round of applause for that? That deserves a round of applause. Yeah, audience member was out there slanging that shit. She was like, I'm a rider.
And she's like, my kids gotta eat, bitch.
Shit. Hey, 2 for $5.
It's not on there. We were gonna do a single one. That's the single, but we broke up. Everybody, you know.
Oh, the band broke up.
The band. I hate it when the band breaks up.
Jessica, shut up. Okay, Dad, before we get into the breakup. So I was looking back and I just wanted to let you know that at the time, obviously, you know, we're young. So it's like, boy, you had 3 mouths to feed. What the fuck you doing? And my mom probably be pissed. But at the same time, like I always tell you, and I'd like to tell people, my dad's crazy, but you got a good heart and you're smart and whatever. You're all these great things. But I feel like I'm at an age where it's like, because I know that I'm starting from the bottom. I started from the bottom by myself, figure things out by myself, that you don't know how much I respect this. Like, you don't know how much I'm just like, oh my God, like my dad, like I'm just like you in a sense, a lot like you. And I was just tripping, like seeing the mic, like back then I was just like, who the fuck does he think he is? Like I was
and
laughed.
now to think
and now
about
to
it,
see, I'm like, look at the balls he had. Like how both of you, he holding that thing like he really like spitting something. And it's like, if you believe it, that shit will really work. If you work, the dream will work. If you work. And I feel like everything that I am is because you taught me. And it's like, now I can see, because in 2005, if I was maybe 12, you were 24, 26. No. Like 34, 32.
Something like that.
You're in like early 30s.
Early 30s.
Yeah. Not even.
Which is technically me.
Oh, late 20s.
Late 20s.
Yeah, I think it was the late 20s.
And I see your car. I remember I tell everybody that we used to go to like the lowrider shows, and then you guys had a little shoot at the Staples Center. So I'm just in shock. How long was this for? Like, how long was the whole process of this from when it started to the CD?
That's a cool minute. Actually, Infidelity Records took care of that. We took the pictures, and they put all that together.
So how did you find it's Fidelity Records? Or Fidelity Records.
Yeah, it's right there on Van Nuys, because Sire used to stay over there, and he used to know the producer and everything. So when he says thanks for nothing, that means I'm like, dude, he literally do what we do, so we don't really need him. So
you guys paid him?
Yeah. Well, actually, Sire's girl used to pay him.
Oh, let's get into
that.
Let's get into that.
Okay. So, dude, back in the day, it was like, oh my God, how ratchet. And this now it's like, oh, I fuck with it. Okay, I see y'all doing moves. So, Dad, how did so Fidelity Records, I'm sure, like, kind of told you guys, like, y'all need to get in the studio. So, at the time, he had a sugar mama, is what we call her.
Yeah.
Do you know where he met her? He not allowed to say. Anyway, so she would hook it up, and she got you guys studio time.
She showed it. I seen it with my own eyes.
And you guys recorded that in the studio? Because I remember that day Jessica had to hop on the mic. So was that just for that song? I don't know if you remember.
That was before I put Jessica on the track. We did that before in the same studio, but the last track, it was going to be a single. I believe it's on Roscoe, something like that.
Yeah, that's an exit on the freeway, Roscoe's.
Yeah, I remember it was far.
Okay, so, bitch, now we're going to jump into JD that. We're going to, you have to listen to what we remember. So, I don't remember.
Well, check it out. I one time I just heard Jessica singing. So me and my cousin like, hey, we need a girl's voice on the motherfucking track. So I'm like, bro, I got an idea. And he like, what? I'm gonna put Jessica on it. He like, what, Jessica? She's young, bro. I'm like, bro, you're gonna hear her voice, and I like how she sounds. And he like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, let's put her on the track. And I talked to Jessica. I didn't tell Saul or nobody. I just took her and we went.
Yeah.
So wait, when did your dad find out you were actually on the damn track?
When they were
after he heard the song.
After he heard the song.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you. I remember now that I'm thinking, Jessica. I feel like I remember feeling butthurt that I don't know if you remember any of you that I wanted to do it too. Like you guys doing this because he really was. My dad and you were like always like this from what I'm remembering. Like this is reminding me. Like I remember I wanted to do it too. Like, and I remember I went, but I couldn't hop on. But I remember my dad just saying, "No, you're too little." And like I really remember that I wanted to be part of it, but obviously I felt part of it because I went. And I even remember my siblings being mad that they couldn't come.
Yeah, I remember.
So my dad was like, "Oh, only the older ones." And what I remember, I'm going to go first because it's short. And I know you know more because you were older and you actually recorded. But I remember that we went in there. I remember the parking lot. I remember where we entered. I remember it was pretty small. It wasn't that big. And I know that there was one side where you guys were in and there was a side like the audience kind of, but it's small. And I know Sarah used to cuss a lot, and he was cussing her out because he wanted more studio time or something.
Yeah.
And then he is like yelling at her, and he just goes, Anna, and then I remember that he's like, y'all want pizza? Like, we got pizza. I remember that we went to the market with the sugar mama, and she's like, you guys can get whatever you want. And we looked at each other like, whatever we want.
We grabbed one bag of chips and we were sharing.
To share. And she's like, that's all you girls want.
We were used to that.
Yeah, we had to share growing up. We couldn't get our own things or like more than one thing, if anything, when we got older. But we were like, shucks, like, get whatever you girls want. Anything. Bitch.
We went crazy.
I was like, I got cookies. We got a lot of things.
I remember I got a big bag of Reese's Pieces. I don't know why. I didn't even know they sold that shit. Like,
hey, the Halloween pack.
The Halloween pack. And I was like, oh, I love Reese's Pieces. Yeah, like I just remember grabbing the bag, and I remember her like pushing the basket and being like, fill it up.
Yeah.
And she told us, fill it up. And me and Vanessa, I think
we were going crazy.
That was one of the highlights of like our childhood, where we've never had an adult tell us fill up the basket. So we grabbed chips and candy.
So now I blame her for this weight that we gained.
This is
because she
caused this. The sugar mama.
No, but just what do you remember like in the actual studio?
I remember my uncle asking me when you guys were at the 48. I remember that. I was really young. He asked me when you guys were at the 48.
I lived at 48?
Yeah. And I remember I was at the bottom of the bunk beds, and my tío came in. And I was really young at the time. I think I was like 8th grade. Definitely not in high school. I was like an 8th grader. And he was like, I've heard you before. Like, I know you can sing. And I'm like, I really can. Like, okay, what? He's like, come on, just come in the studio. And I'm like, fuck it. I was like, all right, they'll just come pick me up. Like, any excuse to get out of the house. At that age, you just don't want to be at home. So I was like, any excuse to get me out the house, come pick me up. And he actually did. Like, he went and picked me up. You were in the car, and we drove down. To me at the time, it felt like a long drive.
I don't even remember the drive.
I remember it was a long drive, but now it makes sense. We went to Van Nuys. And I remember going in and seeing Sire there, right? And I'm like, oh, hi, we're all talking. And then I see the baby mama.
No,
right?
the sugar mama. The baby
sugar,
mama?
No, the sugar mama. You're right. I see the sugar mama. And she just was so nice. Yeah. She was so sweet. She was really, really
damn
nice.
near could have been on a wheelchair. She was old as hell.
Yeah, she was really old, but she was really nice to us. She would order pizza. I remember Sire was yelling at her that he wanted a bottle. And I remember like clearly she went to go get 2 bottles, and he was fucking
for his vocals.
For his vocals. And he had claimed it was for his vocals. Like, oh, I need it for my vocals. And I remember being like, oh, okay. And I remember seeing like Sire just pour it up, like pouring, drinking. And he would tell her like, make me another drink, bitch. And she would make him another drink. He was bad. He was bad at the time.
Yeah.
He was bad. And then I remember the guys recorded all their stuff first. So we were just sitting back eating the chips. I was eating my Reese's Pieces. And then I remember right before I went on, the producer was like, oh, do you want some tea?
Oh,
like,
he was there?
Yeah, the guy who was doing like the recording.
Oh, the studio probably.
The studio guy, right? The producer. And I remember it was a white man. And he was like, oh, do you want some tea for your vocals? Mind you, I've never done this. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't even know what tea was.
I don't even got vocals, and I've never had tea. But I was just like, please, thank you. So I remember him giving me honey tea. And I remember how... like, it was really good. It was, like, really soothing. And I also feel like he heard that I have a raspy voice.
Yeah, you do.
And he probably was like, they bring this bitch with a raspy voice. And then I remember I went in and I couldn't do it. I remember I was so scared. It was just so much anxiety. And, I struggle with anxiety. And I remember my tío Eric was like, Jess, over the wall, right? Because you've got that mirror. And he was like, just close your eyes. Ain't nobody there. Ain't none of us watching. Like, you just got to pretend it's just you. Like, don't be scared of this shit. We're going to keep redoing it. Just keep going. It really felt like it was a real thing. It was a real thing.
It was technically legit.
It was a legit real thing. And I was like, okay, you're right. And then I got more comfortable. And then they was like, yeah, it literally felt.
Whoop that trick.
Whoop that trick. It literally felt like a movie like scene. And then I just remember we ended up getting kicked out because Sire was fucked up. And the baby mama paid, and I remember seeing her with hundreds, like paying the producer guy, and we got kicked out because of Sire.
Y'all got kicked out. You remember that, Dad?
I remember.
What I'm thinking is, who the fuck drove us home?
Your dad did. Your daddy drove us home, okay? And both of them was drunk. Like, Sire was fucked up, but he lived in Van Nuys. He probably lived not that far.
Oh, he did?
And I remember, like, both of them was drinking, and I was just sitting there drinking my tea.
Where was you?
Where were our parents? Where was my mama, too?
You went once to the studio?
What was I driving? What car did I have?
It was the Impala. The Impala que le habías agarrado la Elsie, remember?
The white one.
The white one. I remember. It was a white Impala. You went to the
studio once?
Mm-hmm.
I just saw like food on the table. Like she set it up.
Oh, yeah.
You were there? I don't remember you being there.
She had food. She would always bring like food. Like she was a really good sugar mama. You know what? But shout out to her. She was a real one, and she was so sweet.
Yeah, and I really want to know where he met her because that's fucked up how he used to treat her. Like usually sugar mamas just give money. They don't get mistreated, do they?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes they do, and sometimes they like it too. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes they like it. Like
they like acting like their moms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real thing. Like there are sugar babies who mistreat their sugar parents, whether it's sugar mama, sugar daddy.
I don't care what you do, just give me the money.
Yeah, and they're mean to them. Like literally, I've heard through the grapevine that there are sugar babies that will literally tell their sugar daddies, like, shut the fuck up, you ain't nothing but piece of shit and some fucking money, bitch. And they will give them money. And I'm like, where can I find that? I've never found that ever in my life.
Okay, moving on. Dad. Okay, so we're gonna get to the ratchet shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see. Jessica, let me see. I'm a little. So why do you think you guys stopped? Like, what happened? There?
Well,
life.
Sire, he was a mess. Sire was a mess. Yeah, but most him, dude, he used to go to my house until he got his shit straight, and he like, you know what, I'm gonna join the army. And then he went to the army, and that's how. And George started going to Christian church.
He invited us a few times. I remember.
Oh, really?
I remember going to church with him for a little.
Good for him. Praise the Lord. Good for him.
And me, I think I got busted. I don't know. I think I got busted.
Hey, locked up. Can you play that in the?
I'm gonna put in the jail bars on his
jail bars. On his, that would be good. Jail bars. Yes, that would be perfect. And that sucks. What about when? So after that, nobody wanted to get back together to do like more music. The three of you guys.
No, but Sire left the army. I remember when my dad's like he left to the army, and we didn't see him for years
after that,
or you didn't even hear from him. Remember? I think he'll call you sometimes.
Yeah, he'll call me. But then after we stopped, I started getting into DJing. I bought a DJ. I started mixing. So, you know.
You kind of always had it in you. Like, it was kind of like a little... Like, do you feel like that, Dad? Like, you kind of had, like, that creativity in you when you were young? I heard that manual arts, I don't know if it was manual arts, that they had a DJing class.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was so shook that back in the days, I saw like a documentary of something and that it was like an old school DJ. He's like, yeah, like the schools had like DJing class. I was like, what the fuck?
You know what? I also always feel like my Tío Eric has been an entertainer.
That's
always.
What I'm saying. Like, when do you
That's
feel
always
like,
been him.
When do you feel like it kicked in for you to like even want to learn things like that?
Well, it came naturally, dude. Like, I go with the beat. Right. You gotta have your beat, you know, you gotta have rhythm. Like when Jessica's birthday is, I'm like, I'm gonna play. I'll be the DJ.
No, birthday parties, gatherings, carne asadas.
I remember when somebody hired him at a big ass wedding. Whose wedding was that?
I remember my tío literally doing DJ, even if it was a carne asada of just us. Like my mom,
even in the house,
my mom, the kids, Elsie. And it was just us. There was no audience because all of us were family. But my tío was fucking it up, like on the.
Well, I'm gonna be
tracks.
honest. In the beginning, I was like, that don't mix well the way you was mixing in the beginning. But you got better. Most definitely, you got better.
You got
In the
better.
beginning, I was like, hold up, who's gonna tell him? Is it gonna be me?
But I also feel like as he got older, we got older, so we would put him up on game.
No, of course,
on like what we were listening
because
to.
with anything that you start with, it's not always gonna be. But it's like as long as you have the passion to learn it, you're gonna get better. And I feel like that's definitely what happened. Like the last New Year's parties were really dope. Like
yes,
and I think it's crazy because it's like that was just it was his passion. Because even randomly, like when we had carne asadas or like even just random when he felt like getting on the DJ, he's like, I'm gonna get on the DJ. And I remember since I used to get mad because I used to either be on the phone or want to focus, and it's like, and I'm like, oh my God, like you at it again. So I like that. Even though no matter what the circumstances was in the little space that you could, or in the our little life that we were living, like I feel like you always had some spark in you. You know what I'm saying?
That's always been my deal. That's always been
like
my
the
deal.
light of the party.
No matter what situation was going on, he's always been the light of the house or the life of the party. Like he's always been the type to make the best out of whatever situation, and he brings so much joy to those around him.
He knows that too. That's what's annoying. Look at him.
And he knows that.
Hey, when you know you got it going on.
And he knows that.
Yep.
And it's a great, and now looking back, to be honest, I remember I've been ashamed of this record for.
I know, and then now I'm like, hold up, let me see if we can play this.
For a very long time, I've been ashamed of this record.
Play it. Let's see what
and my deal will literally haunt me with this song.
We're gonna.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I'll put a little lower.
With twin set, double clips up on that.
That's Sire. I like his voice, Sire's voice though. And I like my dad.
I don't know how I feel about the alien in the background.
The very embodiment of anarchy acquires such proficiency.
Can you hear us talking, Dad?
Yeah.
And if when experiential quintessential, it gets no better than the West Coast.
There she goes. After this,
City of Angels. Okay, how do I know? Do you remember your part?
yeah, that's Jessica right there.
I love that.
Whatever. To change.
Well, I like this.
I hate you.
Who came up with that? I like that.
I don't know. They told me what to say.
No. They played with your vocals a little bit too.
I know they did.
Auto-tune.
Oh, you said auto-tune. No.
She's so shy. I never see her shy.
I hate this song.
Sing along, Jess.
No.
I like it. Look at I like the start. No, in the end.
G3, tirando una y otra vez, chupando bohemia, J9, 46.
That's my dad.
Del sistema, perdón de rodillas que pido, por todas las cosas que yo he hecho desde que nací, caminando la mierda.
Can we hear it? I want to be putting here.
Para alcanzar 100, pero aquí hay que robar para tener. Los Ángeles no tienen nada para un guerrillero que ofrecer. Desde el año 82. Muchos muertos, no arrestos, no se oye ni una voz. Mucha gente dice que estamos en la ciudad de Los Angelitos. Aquí mueren hasta los pequeñitos y así se abren las puertas del infierno. Los Ángeles. South Central.
I give a fuck if it was bloodshed and bang. Destiny.
Yes.
Everybody on my shit list. Ain't no racial bigotry with me. We all gonna get treated like shit equally.
All right, Dad. Okay. I like it. I don't know why now it's like you learn to appreciate it. And I feel like that's the whole ass project that came together. Okay, I had a question though. Desde el año 82, like since 82. I know you wasn't born 82, so I was like, what was 82?
That's when I came over here.
Oh, when he came here, 82.
Oh, what?
So I started seeing everything, you know what I mean? All the gang violence, the killing.
How old were you, Theo?
I was like, when I came here, I was probably like 7 or 5.
Why did I think you came like at 3? I thought you were baby.
No, I think
you didn't fucking drink, you ratchet ass.
You not even.
She just took my drink.
She's not drinking it.
Oh, you little pour some in there. I was about to pick it up. It's gone.
Girl, hearing this just
don't make a mess in the studio. Yeah, estúpida. Huh? This fucking bitch. No me dejo nada.
It's because listening to this, it just made me feel some type of way. You get what I mean?
Okay, Dad. So you came in.
The victim of the ghetto, huh?
Yes, and I like that. So tell me a little bit about the verse.
This is a big ass machine gun. So I'm a big motherfucker, so I'm like,
that's right.
So
Period. So am I.
I'm shooting once, twice, and 3 times. chupando
Well, you did
bueno,
have
and I
3
mean drinking
kids,
bueno.
so
He
you
shot 3
definitely
times.
shot 3 times.
Ew.
And,
You
and,
did
and
have
I
Okay,
3
did.
kids. Hey, Elsie like, she blushing in the back. Look at her, she
Okay. He
blushing.
blushing too. They ugly. Okay. Okay, moving
And
on.
then I said my CDC number J94615. J94615. That's J94615. That's my CDC number when I went to prison.
Oh,
I didn't even know that.
And I'm like, check the record out on the prison, you know. So I through all that I've been around, and then I've been so much, I've seen so much violence, and I see that even the little kids here are dying. And I
Yeah.
said, welcome to LA.
Well, it's an
the doors.
inferno. It's like the city of angels, but it's really hell.
yeah. Hell's
And
internal
then I'm like,
inferno.
then I said, welcome to LA, South Central. But
That's
I mean,
right.
but
I like.
I wanted my cousin wanted me to do it. He wanted me to speak in English, and I'm like, nah, man. I wanna speak in Spanish, because I
Yes.
wanted to
Yes.
put a little flavor right there on Central America
You
and
know what, Theo?
Latinos. You
I'm
know
gonna
what I mean?
call you
So,
for that because I think I want to spit a few bars in Spanish. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm really feeling like queen vibes. You get what I mean?
No, and you know what? I was gonna tell you that because I feel like I don't know where I heard you in English. Is that the only song you featured on?
no, I got another. I got another one, but I gotta look. It's in my old computer, because I used to first when I started like fucking around. I started using the Pro Mac. What's that program you have on there? The one I told you could use it. You can use on
GarageBand.
Mac.
Garage
Yeah,
band.
I used to fuck with that, and I speak in English, but it's like
I like the way you sound in Spanish though, because I remember you would do it in. I don't know what I would hear in English, and I'm like it's cool, but I really like the way you sound. I like your voice. Like
The
you have a good
Spanish,
voice.
yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good.
yeah. So I told my cousin, man, I'm gonna put it in Spanish, and he's like, do what you want, man. So I put it in Spanish.
One of our friends had said on our trip when we were in Vegas,
When she heard it.
when she heard it, she was like, "Where can I stream this song? Like, I really
where can
like
I find it? Yeah.
Like, where can I find it?" And I'm like, "Girl,
and
you can't find this." Like, okay, no, you can't find
no,
it.
but I for sure want to put it out. I think it's dope. And Dad, how do you feel now looking back though? Like the fact that I'm even bringing this up, like how do you feel about it now versus back then?
Well, I feel about it now that I'm proud of making that, because I could die, and somebody's gonna find that CD, and he's gonna hear my voice on that motherfucker.
That's right.
Period.
He was worth las puteadas que me daba tu mamá.
So what would she say? Like how?
I know. How did you even present that?
How would you
people?
present that?
Yeah.
Like,
You know what? Let me share something before I forget. I clearly remember that we moved by Arlington, that little apartment.
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me, I'll never forget this. When you were doing and I feel like it was when you were doing the photo shoot, or something about the pictures, like you had left for a reason, but for this. And I remember that he was like, Vane, like, I'm doing this. He's like, watch, you're going to have a lot of shoes. I remember him telling me, like, we're going to have money. You're not even going to have like one pair. You're going to have a lot. Cause we had like one pair, like every school year, tops two. And I remember him telling me like, you're going to be able to have a lot of shoes. And I was like, yay. Now you going to have a lot of shoes with me. Cause
you still waiting on them shoes, huh?
Hey, I still got like 2 pairs.
I still got 2 pairs. Ain't that some bullshit?
But really though, that's why your mom, I love your mom, because in a way she supported me, even though she used to get mad when I used to leave. Of course I understand that.
That's a lot to like take in. And she still supported that, and then still was like, hey, this is the CD, this is the album.
I can't believe she took. I don't think I could do that.
She was still down to take the CDs to the school and be like, hey.
I know, out of school.
Right,
she worked out of school.
Yeah. Yeah, she a real one.
Mommy, how did you even present it to them? Like, this is my man.
Not embarrassed, but shy to do it. But I had coworkers that said.
That's true. I do remember that. That, and like you just presented to her like me and Sarah are gonna do music, and right, she was on board, or how was the beginning when you told everybody?
Nah, she was really she wasn't on board, because I used to leave and I think she used to hate that I used to leave at night. Honestly,
anybody would.
I just wanted to go and drink. Honestly, we used to be on a garage, and when you drink, you get on the mood like, okay, let me make this beat, and I started fucking with the beats, with the treble and all that. Next thing I have a beat, and I'm like, hey, so you want to say something? And he's like, yeah, let me put some down. So he put some down, then I put some down. We have so much recorded on a computer that he has, just fucking around, but the beats are badass. And I'm like, hey, fool, send me a copy of them beats so I can have them.
Do you think that would you want to create like later on in life? Would you want to create more?
I think I'm old. I could probably be a writer. Like, if you tell me what the song
somebody's
you
ghostwriter.
Yeah. Like Jessica, if you tell me, hey, I want to do this song, and I'll write something for you.
Oh,
I know your life.
yes.
I know
who
about
wrote
you.
these? Who wrote Jessica's hook? That's a hook, right?
Well, me and Sire.
It's a chorus.
Yeah, the hook.
Yeah, it was definitely a hook.
You guys wrote it. I like that. At times it might seem like too much. Every hustle and struggle in life, same day,
But let
same
me tell you
shit, different
something.
day. Bullshit just never seems to shine.
But Jessica added,
I'm a victim of the ghetto. Don't seem like I'm getting too far. That's how I be feeling out here. Like, I know that a lot of people can relate with that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really like it because a lot of people that grow up in the hood, like, they feel like that's it for them. Like, if you didn't go to school and become a doctor, that you just got to give your life to the streets. And I respect that because it does feel like that, but it's really not like that. Like, we're in a new generation where if you don't go to school, don't mean your life over. Don't mean you got to give your life to the streets. And I don't know. It's crazy to look back at. I'm just shocked at the whole project that came out. Like, I'm just like, oh my God.
But you know what? You know what I want to say about Jessica?
Yes.
JD, excuse me. We just wrote what we wanted her to say. But she added her stuff. She added like
the flow of it.
She added all that. We just wrote the lyrics, the hook, and she just added something.
The way it mellowed, like flowed.
So we liked it, and the producer like, yes, that's what I mean. And he put it on. I'm like, put whatever she says is on. So it came out pretty cool.
You know, he gave me a card. He gave me his business card at the end of the session, and he was like, I think you have a lot of potential. He was like, I think you'd be really great to make music. Like, come back. We can work on your vocals. We can work. He's like, you seem like you could be a rapper, like with a slight vocalist. He made, and I'm like, you just want some money. I was really young. Yeah, I was really young. I was in 8th grade. So
yeah, I was going to send you there by yourself. Hell no.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, you can't trust no man like that. But I think that's dope. Like, I really think that's really dope. I admire you for it. And it's like, I feel like a little bit of that, like, transferred to me. Like, I'm telling you, that's why I feel like I respect it more, because I know how hard it is to just create on your own. And even something that stood out that you said was like how you referred to Cyrus saying, and Fidelity Records, thank you for nothing. And you mentioned, like, because he really did nothing. Like, we all were doing, like, basically, like, you can do it all on your fucking own. And I feel like that stood out to me, because it is true. Like, when you teach yourself, if you want it, you're gonna get it. You get me? Like, if you want it, you're gonna find a way to get what you want. So it's like, if I know that I wanted a certain way, if I know I wanted my intro, if I wanted JD, like, you get it, and you work enough to, like, where you can get it. So it's like, yes, at the end, you can pay someone to make someone that's been around and knows the way things go, but it's like, it's not impossible to do it on your own. You get me? Like, it was going to be slightly harder or whatever, but it's not impossible to just learn on your own and get it on your own. So I respect you for that. And I don't know, I'm just proud of you in that sense of that.
Right now, I talked to Sire like a couple of months ago. Mm-hmm. He got his own studio now, like a good studio. Maybe you guys could travel to Texas and he'll do something for you.
Wait, so is he sticking to music? Why does he have a studio?
He got his own studio in his house, hooked up and everything.
I mean, we could take a trip. It ain't that much to go to Texas.
It'll even just be fun to do like a project out of it.
I have family that lives out there. I mean, blah, bitch. I will be up in that bitch like JD on the mic. What's up?
Yes.
That motherfucker could write something for you as quick as that fool got talent like that.
Yeah, I want to talk how baby daddies ain't shit.
Yeah. I feel like if you gave him what you wanted, he can also help like connect it and bring it together.
And you know what's crazy? I love to see that no matter how our age, how we progress in age, that like your passion is always there. If he still has a studio,
that's what I'm like
in his home, then that's his passion, and that's something that's always been.
Thank you, bartender.
Thank you. that's something that's always been there for him, and that's something you don't give up on those passions, you know what I mean? And those are things that really make you stand out, and those be the motherfuckers that make it.
Exactly.
Lil Murder. Like Lil Murder from
P Valley.
Lil Murder from P Valley. Like, I love that the show just shows people who are really persistent and people who like show.
And I like that because there's this show that we watched that is called P Valley, and it's like, it's funny. It's like about a strip club. It's like really interesting. But there's a little rapper que siempre he wants to be in the mix. He wants the DJ to play his song. And in the beginning, it's like we kind of laughed at him like, oh, if you don't go home.
Yeah.
And at the end, because he was so persistent and always pushing, that he fucking made it.
Yeah, we rooted for him.
Like, he got played at the strip club, and it's like, even though it was a little hometown strip club, like that was big to him for his shit to even get played at a strip club.
Yeah.
And it's like with that comes like, if you keep pushing and you stay committed, anything is possible. And that really is the truth. Like, you have to make people, if you believe in you, I can make you believe in me because I believe in me, you know? So I just think that's dope. And I want to thank you again for just passing that down the bloodline.
Period.
It runs in our blood.
And then even putting me on a mic at such a young age.
Because he saw it in you too.
And I was very vulnerable. I was just so shy at the time. I mean, I've always been outgoing or whatever. But at the time, to be in front of a mic and to be in front of my uncle and my cousin.
No matter what, like, I'm like, oh, I'm like, I remember I was telling him about tryouts or something. He's like, okay, Vanna, you got it. Like, it was just always like a reassurance.
Yeah.
But even with the reassurance, like, it was just kind of like he made me feel like no matter what, I had it.
Yeah.
So that felt good to know. Like, so it's like, I don't know. It helps a lot because it is true. It's in you. It's like, you're here for a reason. Difference. I brought you to the studio for a reason. So you got it. So just spit.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like that also that helped me a lot in my confidence growing.
But my tío made me believe it, bitch.
That's good.
And I did it.
Dude, do you know when I heard you? You used to sing that song a la de I Will Survive.
By Gloria.
We were actually going to pay somebody to put the hook down, but I'm like, you know what, bro?
All I got was a bag of chips.
Just was like, run that check, actually.
I got a bag of chips and some Reese's Pieces.
And experience, baby girl.
That's right.
That's like, right.
You've been in the studio. So when I invited her onto the studio, she's like, bitch, I've been in the studio. So
but
that's
you know
how
what?
It started.
Yes. At a very young age.
Dad, any last words that you wanted to say that you feel like you didn't say?
Yes, I want to say this. Like, you're doing what I was doing back in the day, Vanna. All of a sudden, I feel like, what? She got her own podcast and she got her own brand, Real Ratchet and Reckless. And I'm like, dude, that's something, it sounds familiar, like what I did back in the day. So it truly runs through the family. And obviously, she got it because she's talkative. It just pops. She got that fire that she's just going to keep going, and don't let nobody stop you because I know you could do it and you're going to be somebody. And I want a lot of shoes too.
He's like, I want my cup. You for sure got your cup for life. That I appreciate you. I know sometimes people like, oh, yeah, but it's like, you don't, it's different, you know, like parents sometimes feel like, I just feel like parents have a whole lot of other pressure, but I feel like my parents, well, what I hope that other parents can take from and stuff is like, you know, I told a friend this, like, your kids don't need all the shoes. Your kids don't need the biggest house. Like, your kids need a happy home and they need support. That's all that I really feel that matters in upbringing. Yes, our story was very rocky, but girl, I had the most solid parents. Like, together, y'all was a hot mess, but separately, you guys stood so solid that it's like I was able to take from both of you. I took a lot from my mom. Like, you know, my mom is a queen itself. Like, my mom is just so much. And I feel like I carry a lot of my mom. But at the same time, like, you're a boss.
A lot like
you're a leader.
A lot like your daddy.
I always remember him telling me, like, you never want to be the follower. You always got to be the leader. So if I was the only bitch in one group, I was the only bitch in one group. You want to join my group or you don't. So I feel like that also made me not feel like left out in school or nothing, even if I was ever, which sometimes, you know, I was, or like, you just never know. But I feel because my parents taught me like to be solid and just be sure in me that no one else could wash my brain about not being sure about my choice.
And that's the biggest investment a parent can do to their child.
It's like, so I feel like
biggest
you guys did like, I feel like parents sometimes have this pressure of like, I need to give everything. No, like as long as you teach, you know, your kids to just be solid and just know when, just to move in their way. Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh my God, I love that you're yourself. But it's like, I can't just be like, oh, do this, because it's like I was kind of taught that. You know, I wasn't born like a leader. Well, I don't know, maybe. But it's like it was instilled in me by you guys, like by my parents. So it's like I wouldn't know what it is to not be myself, because that's all I was ever taught. And I feel like you and my mom were always just yourselves, and you guys didn't really care what people thought. Like you guys just did you in the best way that you could. And I feel like that reflects a lot.
And honestly, no amount of shoes could ever replace that.
Hey, y'all already know. Guys, don't ever forget, this is your girl. Oh, Dad, you want to say something?
Clear Freck Records signing out.
Oh, all right now. Who's signing out? You got to sign out.
All right, JD with the T sign out. You already know. Follow me, JD_ with the T for the latest and greatest celebrity gossip.
That's right. And y'all already know who it is. Don't forget to make sure to tell your tia, your grandma, your mama that the real, the ratchet, and reckless is where it's at. I'm signing out.
Set double clips up on deck, a recon team type grip on the heavy 4/5, immaculate marksmanship, that of Lee Oswald's accuracy, the very embodiment of anarchy, acquire such proficiency. Us gunfighters of the West, prototype of a kind, and if when experiential's a quintessential, it gets no better than the West Coast gunslinger. Welcome to the city of angels, hell's eternal inferno.
At times it might seem like too much. Every hustle's a struggle in life. Same shit, different day. Bullshit just never seems to change. Ooh, I'm just a victim of the ghetto. It doesn't seem like I've been getting too far. No, no, no.
Precise time to befriend death. Little roads a hell highway for the same dead end. He who takes life at his own expense shall be self-condemned. Forgiven of all but one sin. God damn it, thou shalt not kill. Amen. Welcome to the city of angels, hell's eternal inferno.
At times it might seem like too much. Every hustle's a struggle in life. Same shit, different day. Bullshit just never seems to change. Ooh, I'm just a victim of the ghetto. It doesn't seem like I've been getting too far.
Tirando y una y otra vez, chupando bohemia, J9, 4615, búscalo en los libros del sistema. Perdón, de rodillas te pido por todas las cosas que yo he hecho desde que he nacido. Caminando la línea recta para estar bien, ahorrando centavos para alcanzar 100. Pero aquí hay que robar para tener. Los Ángeles no tienen nada para un guerrillero que ofrecer. Desde el año 82, muchos muertos, no arresto, no se oye ni una voz. Mucha gente dice que estamos en la ciudad de los angelitos. Bullshit, aquí mueren hasta los pequeñitos. Y así se abren las puertas del infierno, Los Ángeles, South Central.
I give a fuck if it was bloodshed and bang. Destiny fucking with man's existence. Everybody on my shit list. Ain't no racial bigotry with me. We all gonna get treated like shit equally. I'm distributing even parts of opportunity, but that's just me. You motherfuckers wait till Doc D.R.E. gets a hold of my shit. I'm the brown gangster ass motherfucker. He needed to complete the clip.